Compound interest is one of the most powerful ways to build your wealth. Why? It's because compound interest is interest earned on interest. Let's say that you have a savings account with an APY or annual percentage yield of 1%. This means that if you deposited $100 today, after 1 year, your account would be worth $101 because you earned $1 of interest. However, next year, your interest earned would be $1.01, so your account total would be $102.01, since you're now earning interest on $101. It may not seem like it, but compound interest is extremely powerful. So powerful, in fact, that the most successful investor who's ever lived attributes much of his great financial success to compound interest. Some of you may know him, and some of you may not, but Warren Buffett is widely considered the greatest investor who ever lived. And he's been quoted as saying that, "My wealth has come from a combination of living in America, some lucky genes, and compound interest." But the thing that always frustrates people about compound interest is how long it takes to really take effect. If we look at the graph of Warren Buffett's wealth growth over time, we see that his wealth did not really begin to skyrocket until his late 50s and early 60s. But once it started going, it really flew. So when you continually earn interest on interest, the gains stack up. And eventually, the compound interest that you earn will take an exponential turn, where your wealth will skyrocket. This is kind of how the greats become rich. They are patient and trust the process, knowing that compound interest will eventually take them to new levels of wealth. But don't take my word for it. Let's actually look at the mathematical formula for the future value of money, meaning how much is my money today going to be worth in the future. You might recognize this type of formula from your high school math class. This formula is exponential in nature. As time goes on, the graph will take an exponential upwards turn, where it massively increases in a very short amount of time. I think by this point, you get why compound interest is so powerful. But how does it work in practice? This is what we're going to be covering in our next lecture.